Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Knife Chats with Tobias. So today what I thought I'd talk about are the bigger Barlows, the ones that are often referred to as a Granddaddy Barlow. And well, let's grab one here. This is the one by Marbles, and we can see compared to this Schrade, it's a little bit bigger. We're talking 3 3/8 inches versus 5 inches closed. And then when we open it up, we have a 4-inch long blade here versus basically a 2.5-inch blade. So you can see the difference there. You're talking about a knife that is substantially larger than your typical Barlow. Now, the Barlow, well, it's kind of like a pocket knife. The Granddaddy Barlow is more of a folding hunter. Also, typically with the Granddaddy Barlow, first of all, it goes by other names. It's also known as just the Daddy Barlow, the Big Daddy Barlow, the Granddaddy Barlow. It's also called the Master Barlow. So a variety of names given to it, and that really comes down to what company was making it at some time. I believe Camillus used to just refer to it as the Daddy Barlow. Other people refer to it as the Granddaddy. And Rough Rider refers to it as the Big Daddy Barlow. Typically, these are, it's a bare head, swell end folding hunter with a large bolster at the top of the handle. That's typically what you see in a Granddaddy Barlow. And the blade is typically a clip blade. I have seen some of these with 2 blades, but most often what you have is just a single clip blade on there. The one that I saw that was a 2-bladed item, it also had a fish scaler on there. But I have seen other blades in there as well as just the clip blade. Now, this particular one is probably my favorite of all my Granddaddy Barlows, and that is because of the raccoons on there. This was in the Marbles lineup. It is made in China. You got a little piece of stag on the top here, and then you've got the spacers there, the jet black spacer with the nickel silver in between, and then white smooth bone on the end where they did the scrimshaw work on it. And this is actually just the laser etching going on. Got the ring bolster, nickel silver bolster on the top, brass pins, brass liners, and then you've got the nice long clip blade there with a very nice clip, nice swedge on the top. If you notice, the swedge goes way back here and then goes down on this side, and it is also doing the same thing here on the top. And you got the finger, the nail nick right below the swedge, but it all works really well. And this is back when Marbles was putting their blade edge going there too, as well as the tang stamp. And this was, like I mentioned, it was in their Wildlife series. I think there was a total of 6 or 8 knives in the Wildlife series. This is the MR 255, so that's can kind of tell you how long ago it was made. And I can tell you it was made probably about 12 years ago, and I actually bought this one on my very first trip ever to SMKW. This is one of the knives I was looking to pick up at the time. Really cool knife though. I really like this, and like I said, it is probably my favorite of the Granddaddy Barlows that I have. Now, I'm not going to get through all of these, especially considering how much time I spent on this, but I will go ahead and finish off the Rough Riders that I have. I only got 5 of the Rough Riders. This is in the High Plains series. This is the only one I got with the big R on it. I do like the High Plains series. What I liked most about it was they didn't bother to put a shield on the knife, which really looked okay. And it also made this R not nearly as annoying. What I would have liked to have seen here is not the little line underneath the R there. That would have probably been fine. If they'd have just had the R there, it would have been fine. Or if they would have rotated the R and had it up, you know, in this direction I wouldn't mind the line on either side of the R then. It's just, you know, the Robert Townsend thing got to me. I also like that they decided to put the line all the way around on it, which was nice. Typically, you see with a lot of the R knives, the other line there, the other threading, is down here instead of lined up. So that was a nice touch. So this is probably the best job they did on the big R on these knives. And this is the only Barlow I bought, or Granddaddy Barlow, or I'm sorry, Big Daddy Barlow that I bought with the big R. And it was mainly because of the big R. Really nice action on it. You do not have, if you can see here, you can see the wedge pretty well on this side. It's not as well defined on this side though. Not sure what happened there. This is a later production one. Now, the very first one I bought, is this the very first one? Yeah, this is the very first Rough Rider Big Daddy Barlow. And this might have been the first one they made. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it is a low number on here. And this is in white smooth bone. It's got the peppering going on there, which annoyed me when I first got it, but I kind of grew to like that as well. But as you can see, the swedge is much better defined on here, and it's got a really nice half stop. This is yeah, RR 1035. Yeah, the 1035, and you heard that snap on it. Man, that is really good. I bought this one as soon as it showed up. I saw it and it's like, wow, they finally got a big Barlow in white smooth bone. And as soon as it showed up, I bought it. I ordered it online. And can you see it there? Let's see if I can show you a little bit better there. Might be hard to pick up. But anyway, the tip is bent. I've been trying to straighten it over the years, but the tip of it was bent. And this was the very first Rough Rider knife I ever bought that had an issue. And I got it, and it's like, the tip is bent. And it's like, maybe I can straighten it. I tried to straighten it a little bit, and it's like, I'm just going to break this tip if I keep working on it. And then I called their customer service and told them, I got this Rough Rider knife and the tip is bent. And they were very apologetic. And they said, well, give us your address and we'll send it out to you. And I said, well, what do I do with this one? They said, well, use that one and then you'll have a second one too. And they said, if both of them come up bad, then you'll need to send them both back and we'll refund your money. But otherwise, you know, just keep this. It isn't worth our time for you to send it back. I was like, that is just amazing. And that was my first experience with a bad Rough Rider knife from SMKW. And they have, as you know, they have done that ever since. And it's not just for me. They do that with everybody. But then I got this one. This is the second one. There wasn't nearly as much peppering in the bone on the front. You can see there's quite a bit on the back here. That bothered me a little bit, but not as bad as the bent tip. And I got this one, and the tip was perfect. And the action was great. And you can see the lineup, not 100% right down the middle. But as you can see, this one, can we get it right? There you can see it right there. You can definitely see the bend in the end of the blade here. Doesn't hit the side, but it does bend. This one was perfect. I really liked it. And it's like, wow, that is great. And as you notice, the big Rough Rider horseshoe shield on the top, which is the same shield that they use in their other Barlows in the small ones. So that was pretty cool. I like that quite a bit. And then the next one I picked up was in the Sawcut bone. Unfortunately, they put a shield on that one. I wish they hadn't done that, but it does have the same Rough Rider on there. Notice there. This one is a little cleaner cut, and that's because this was a second edition one, and it looks like they fixed the stamping on the bolster a little bit. This one's deeper. And then I got this one, and notice again, it's a little bit bigger, definitely bigger. Still tested sharp, but it changed a little bit, and this is in the ram's horn. But as you can see here, got the swedge. Swedge is not as defined as it was on the white smooth bone, but it's still pretty good. Not nearly as defined though. But the action is great. And then this is in the ram's horn series. Now this is not true ram's horn, or is it? Wait. Yeah, this is ram's horn bone. So this is bone jigged to look like ram's horn. Don't know why they did it that way, but that's the way they did it. Slightly different Rough Rider horseshoe tang stamp in there, or horseshoe stamp into the bolster, I should say. You do have the double R shield here. I wish they didn't do that, but hey, that's the way they did it. And then you have the reverse frosted etch on there for the ram's horn bone, which is pretty cool. But I know a lot of people don't like the reverse frosted etching, but I tell you what, the reverse frosted etching on these knives holds up pretty well, and part of that is because of the slight hollow grind to the blade. It isn't completely flush flat, and so you have that little layer in there where when you're cutting, it doesn't rub too hard against the blade. So the reverse frosted etching holds up pretty well on these. But in any case, I'm going to leave it at that. Those were my Rough Rider Granddaddy or Big Daddy Barlows, my one Marbles Big Daddy Barlow as well. I believe they were also referring to this as the Big Daddy Barlow. And next time I visit, we will go into my other oversized Barlows, including one that isn't quite a Big Daddy or a Granddaddy, but it's also bigger than your typical Barlow. So a knife that I prefer to refer to as a Big Brother Barlow. But we'll get into that in the next video. Talk to you soon. Let me take just a second to thank you once again for dropping by and spending a few minutes here at Knife Chats with the Pious. I really do appreciate it, and I do appreciate any comments that you leave. So please remember to give me that thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll know when the next episode is up and running. Thanks again for dropping by. Really do appreciate your time here.